When I was 29, I was married to the man I had been with since high school, 12 years together. 2 years ago, I made the biggest mistake of my life. An old crush from school reappeared online, and I let curiosity and temptation take over. I told my husband it never went past messages, but that was a lie. The truth is it did. The guilt nearly ate me alive, but somehow he forgave me, after more than a decade of dreaming about marriage and kids together. When he asked me to stay, I clung to that chance. I told myself I could earn back his trust. I work harder than ever, taking on more chores, keeping our home spotless, suggesting date nights, even signing us up for a streaming service just so we could have an excuse to curl up on the couch again. Last year, he proposed with a custom ring that felt like it was made for both of us. For a while, I thought I'd rebuilt what I broke. But this summer, even during the vacation I'd planned for his birthday, I could feel cracks forming again. The air between us was filled with unspoken worries. Then, 2 weeks ago, after a night out with his brother, he found my phone. Everything I'd been hiding for 2 years spilled into the open, late-night Discord chats with the other man, deleting any sign of our engagement from my social media so I wouldn't upset him, blocking my fiancé from Instagram, apologizing to the affair partner for still being with my boyfriend. In that moment, I could only think, what was I thinking? He slept in the guest room that night. The next morning, I packed my bags. My heart felt like it was splintering into a million sharp pieces. Before leaving, I kissed his forehead and silently begged him to open his eyes, maybe for the last time. That was the end of 12 years. Now I live alone in a small studio. The walls feel strange, the routines unfamiliar. I grieve not just him, but the future we'd built in my mind. I had learned his family's traditions, attended services he loved, and convinced myself honesty would protect us, only to become skilled at hiding the truth. I wrote him a letter, but couldn't hand it to him. My sister delivered it instead. She read it first and told me it sounded like excuses and left an open door, but offered no real apology. She said if she were him, she wouldn't trust it. Even in the moments that mattered most, I couldn't take full responsibility. I'm leaning on my faith, my friends, and the tiny spark of hope that I can rebuild my life. I'm trying to believe that forgiveness begins with myself. 9 months later, I saw his Facebook status change. In a relationship with Elle. I already knew from friends that he'd been casually dating, but seeing it official hit different. I clicked on her profile. Endless selfies at concerts, beaches, the gym. I messaged her, asking how long it had been and whether it started before I left. She replied calmly, saying she knew about me, that he'd told her what I'd done, and that we were over, that they started dating soon after I moved out. She asked me not to contact him again. I sat staring at her message for a long time. Why would he tell her? How many others knew? I responded once, saying I understood and wouldn't reach out again. And I meant it, but it hurt more than I expected. Seeing him with someone who never lied to him, someone who didn't break his trust. I stayed quiet after that. I've tried dating again, but I zone out during conversations and the men lose interest. Therapy helps. But some days I wonder if this weight I carry is just the price of knowing I love, and I destroyed it. In another part of my life, I was unfaithful in a different way. That affair lasted 2 years with someone from work. My husband suspected it for most of that time. He confronted me, and instead of telling the truth, I made him feel paranoid and unstable. I told myself I was protecting us, but I was protecting myself from a fallout. When he found proof, he left, and then he made me leave. I thought that was it. But not long after, he let me come back, maybe for the kids' sake. That was 2 years ago. We live together, raise our family, and pretend everything is fine. I've tried to show him I've changed, cutting off the affair partner completely, starting therapy, being the wife I should have been from the start. But I still see the damage in his eyes, or more often, in the way he avoids looking at me. He's distant, guarded, and I don't blame him. Lately, I can feel him slipping away even more, not angrily, not dramatically, but quietly. I think he's already gone in his heart. He might stay because he feels guilty leaving now, after so much time has passed, and our life looks stable from the outside. But I know the truth. He's still living with the wreckage of what I did. If he leaves, I'll have to face that I lost in the moment I started lying. If he stays, I'll never take it for granted again. Either way, I'm the one who built this mess. All I can hope is that he finds peace, even if it isn't with me. Others have shared similar pain. One person said they never cheated, but spent years neglecting their partner emotionally, and by the time they tried to be better, it was already too late. The partner never yelled or blamed, just slowly stopped letting them in. Another said they'd been on the other side of betrayal, and that living with the weight of trying to be better, while knowing it might never be enough, is something outsiders rarely understand. Trying counts for something, they said, even if it doesn't fix everything.